Hi everybody, it's Mr. Bruner. Today we're going to be taking a look at making our practice files, getting comfortable with Onshape. So you're going to come into Onshape, and if you actually go into your main screen here, you'll see that in the teams you'll have your Mess Academy, and there's a practice document in there. You can go ahead and click and open that up. This is just going to be for you to see and to copy your own documents. So taking a look at the dimensions to make your own. So this has two things. It has both the engineering drawing, which you're actually going to be hopefully making your own. Then this engineering drawing is going to give you the front view, the side view, the top view, and an isometric view. It is also contains all the dimensions that you're going to need to make it. Additionally, you're going to have the actual three-dimensional model that you can look around and orbit in. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a new document called practice files for you, and you're just going to go ahead and start making this. So if I make the first one, I can create a new sketch on my top view, NNP, and then I can create my rectangles. And then I can start to dimension them. I will let you know that these numbers are big. Okay, so if this one was 15, you can see you're going to have to zoom and reorient yourself. All of them are like that. That is normal. So as I go through, I was able to make this so quick because I use a center point rectangle, so that means it's symmetrical on the right and the left side of this, and everything is based 15 off of each other. And now I can go ahead and extrude this to 15 as well. And there's my part 1. So now once we've created our part 1, we need to create a drawing from part 1. And in order to do that, simply right click on your part down here, and you're going to hit create drawing of part 1. Most of the stuff that we're going to do is in ANSI inches. I have this in my recently opened. You can see a couple of other ones. If it's not in there, you should be able to go into Onshape. Then you can go into ANSI if you want to be a little bit more specific, and there's ANSI A inches. A is a standard 8.5 by 11, B is bigger than that, C is bigger than that, D, so forth and so on. So we're going to go ahead and create an ANSI A with no views. This is going to bring up a blank page for us to drop our own parts in. Now Onshape tries to help us out by creating a front view, and then you can see the preview in very faint lines. If this is the front view that you want, then by all means go ahead and click it down. But if you did not make your part correct, then you are going to need to change this and maybe do the top view. And even though it says top up here, it might actually be your quote-unquote front view that you want to see. So I'm going to hit escape just so I can see what I want to copy. So yes, I was correct. I did want that front view, side view, top view. So I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to insert a view, and then you can see it's already done it. So I'm going to insert my front. I'm then going to just drag off to the side. You can see it's already doing my side. And unfortunately, and then I can click and drag up to do my top. And you can see how my crosshairs are still the projected view, so I can wrap this up by going on a diagonal and getting my isometric view. Once you have all of your views in, you don't need that kind of crosshair, so you can hit escape and you get your regular cursor. Now the nice thing about projecting it like that is that they all stay in conjunction with each other. So if I try to move them, they all stay perfectly in line. The only one that doesn't is our isometric because it has nothing tied into them. Next, we're going to throw some dimensions on this. We just use our dimension tool. We can click on that, and then we can start placing the dimensions where they need to go. Now it's important here when we do dimensioning that we don't over-dimension, nor do we under-dimension, and that we try and keep our dimensions neat. Now what do I mean by neat? I mean that we don't want these crossing each other. So if this line was crossing, it becomes very hard and awkward to read, and I don't know exactly what arrow is pointing to which one. So we make sure that the bigger numbers are on top and the smaller numbers are nested underneath of it. And then we can come over here and dimension this view the same way. And then we are actually done. Now, A couple of things that you might get hung up on is, well, why do we have to have both of these here and here? But we don't have this on both of them. And then we don't have anything up here. The reason why we do that is because these are separate views. This is the front. It's being represented by this face, and this face, okay, looking this on this direction. And this is the side, looking at it from this direction. So these are actually providing different information for you or for somebody who's creating the actual part. Now, we don't want to over-dimension, so by dimensioning the way we've done, I don't need to add anything else. I know that the distance from here to here is 15 because it's actually stated right here. Right? This is my right view, and if we look at the top, this is actually the right side of our part. Here's the front side of our part, so I can see from all the way from edge to edge, it's 45. From here to here is 15, 15, and by doing simple math, I also know that that is going to be 15 as well. This is the proper way to create an orthographic drawing. There's also a couple of other techniques that we'll get into later on down the road. So go through, see if you can create all of the practice problems, create all the drawings with it, and then when you need to, you can go ahead and just add a new Part Studio, and that's going to give you Part Studio number 2, where you can go and take a look at Part 2 and see if you can go ahead and make that and all the different drawings to go along with it. Good luck.